Welcome to the new edition of EON Network this week. It is now Night of Champions. Titles up for grabs, and we're kicking it off for the duos titles on Rainbow Six Siege. Here tonight, it is Slug Denchi and Incredible versus QL and Arsenal 2-on-2 style here on Rainbow Six Siege. This is going to be a very, very violent game, and the question really is who's going to become the team champions by the end of the night. We're going to be finding out at the end of the evening here in the conclusion of the broadcast. Hello again, everybody. I'm Adrian Matt alongside with, well, usually I'm alongside with Rebel. He will be returning, however, next weekend. I cannot wait for my broadcast colleague to work with me again. However, tonight, I am here at Gameside to commentate history making, because tonight again, the duos will finally be claimed as champions. The question is, though, which duos will that be? It could be QLWCZ and Arsenal to become the champions, or it could be Slug Denchi and Incredible. Well, the round one has officially begun. Here we go. This matchup, like I said, is going to go underway. The stakes couldn't be higher. Tonight, it's all about legacy, pride, and really the championships. And we know that championships really can actually catapult your tenure here on EON Network. And you saw how Incredible was trying to play the diffuser there, but it looks like perhaps maybe he was just playing mind games before these guys here in the battle. And you can actually see, it looks like perhaps maybe this matchup is indeed breaking down. There's fire all over the place, and you can see Arsenal is just standing by. And right now it's going to be very smart for, oh, wait a minute, Incredible now is going to be planting the diffuser, maybe not. Again, going back and forth, trying to play mind games. And Incredible with his arms clenched, his gun ready to go, and he perhaps is going to get ready to destroy anybody that comes his way. Throws a grenade from behind. QL just got him from behind. You got to be absolutely kidding me. It's Slug Denchi now, the only one left in the blue team. And now Slug Denchi is slowly, methodically trying to find the last two orange members of QL and Arsenal. This is not going to be good for Slug. Moments ago, I mean, Incredible got, unfortunately, eliminated for Incredible, or I should say Slug Denchi, but Denchi now from behind again, knocking down Arsenal. And Slug Denchi and QL, the last two standing for their respective teams. Who is going to be getting the victory here tonight for round one? Titles on the line, we know that. And these two teams understand there's a lot on the line. And Slug Denchi, though, is hungry for a championship win as he delivers the exclamation point, delivered a shot there to the carcass. And it looks like now we enter into round two. But ladies and gentlemen, we can officially say now that the blue team does indeed have the momentum in their side. Incredible and Slug Denchi must be having huge smiles in their faces after that incredible shot moments ago. They, of course, have the first point of the match. We thank all of you for taking the time to join us, for inviting us into your homes here tonight for EON Network Presents the Night of Champions, where titles are going to be up for grabs. In fact, if you're going to be joining us tomorrow night, it will be both on Rocket League and Fortnite. We will, of course, be crowning champions on those two prestigious games. But tonight, it is all about Rainbow Six Siege. We know about Rainbow Six Siege. It's been a huge title for many years, not only for EON Network, but just the gaming community as a whole. And a lot of these great gamers really have a fun time each and every single time whenever they get the chance to soil their hands on a very incredible game that is Rainbow Six Siege. Well, we know both competitors, or at least both teams in that case, have everything to gain tonight and absolutely everything to lose. And it's all about making sure that they try to prove a statement here for EON Network, trying to prove to themselves that they can actually be the best of the best as the preparation phase is about to end. In comes now action phase. You know, I'm very, have a huge interest on what is expected to take place in just a matter of moments after the incredible win we saw a moment ago off the blue team. And the question is, will the blue team actually capitalize perhaps, or perhaps maybe the orange team is going to be coming full blazing, trying to get some revenge here? We'll find out in just a matter of moments as Arsenal now is stalking the rest of the members here. And QL, on the other hand, using perhaps his resources. And that's one of the things that you would want to use for sure. Resources obviously all over, and try to get the resources at your disposal to get the advantage. And now for these two teams, for now at least, for the next couple of seconds, it's just going to be silence. And I like to say how silence at times could be the most deafening, ironically. Sometimes silence can work against you as well, because on a game like Rainbow Six Siege, yeah, I mean, noise, any type of noise will assist you, but sometimes silence can really bring the suspense. And I think now in the distance there, you see something's going on, a developing story here. Incredible realizes the teams now are coming. Oh my goodness, here comes now QL. And QL had that barricade, and he just knifed Incredible down. QL just came in completely with a plan. And now, not only is the plan to knock the guy down, but the plan to plant the diffuser. QL has everything methodically planned out. But Slug Denchi this time around perhaps is going to counter defuse it, and he successfully does. Wow, what a play. Look at the replay here. You can see that QL did indeed plant the diffuser. However, at the last couple of seconds, we actually saw the blue team being able to, well, defuse it. Or at least disable the diffuser. And now the blue team is sitting at 2 points. This is great. I mean, every move, every second counts. And I'll tell you, one mistake and could be all over here tonight. And it's all about making sure that, as I said before, making that legacy. And that's what Night of Champions is all about. The night where all champions will rise and the legacies will continue to be on top. As we're entering now into the third round. Now, normally, of course, it's usually the first to 4 points on Rainbow Six Siege. The rounds are going to be much longer as we're getting set for round 3. And you got to believe for Slug Denchi and Incredible, these guys probably have a huge grin on their faces. The fact that they were able to decimate the orange team not one but twice now, 2 times in a row, consecutively here. For QL and Arsenal, perhaps maybe this is going to be their time to try to gear up a little bit. Have that proverbial fire lit underneath them. 2 losses in a row could maybe open the eyes of Arsenal and QL. One could argue, however, Slug Denchi and Incredible really have the better chemistry, I'd say, but nonetheless, both teams, in my eyes, doing a wonderful job in there. As we're getting set now, here we go. Round 3 officially, start of action phase has started. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Night of Championships edition of EON Network. Cannot wait for next month as we celebrate the holidays. And now QL in Arsenal, wasting little time. You saw how Arsenal was just really rushing through, and maybe he's going to be playing aggressive here over the next couple of seconds now as he continues to plant his resources here at his disposal. Slug Denchi. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes the first couple of rounds in this matchup. Incredible now running out of there, and that was a very smart and wise maneuver, realizing that he was getting shot, decided to get out of harm's way before the orange team was able to pick up perhaps maybe a kill there. That was very smart of the blue team. As Slug Denchi, now speaking about smart, he was using a drone to try to find exactly what was going on over there on the orange team side of things. Incredible and Slug Denchi, these guys are just not going to stop. They're so relentless. They're not going to stop anytime soon. They want that championship. It's the reason why Slug Denchi and his friend here, they were looking forward to this entire match all week. And QL now begins to fight back. You can see, and perhaps maybe this is going to be the time for the orange team to fight back, because moments ago, Incredible just got eliminated. And now Slug Denchi, his back is against the wall. Slug Denchi understands he's alone, meaning he does not want to rush it. You can see how slowly he's trying to take things here tonight. Slug Denchi does not want to rush it. He understands his partner's nowhere to be found now. He's been eliminated. For Slug Denchi, he really needs to be careful with 1 minute and 18 seconds. Still enough time to knock down both superstars. And there you see now, Slug Denchi realizing there was an orange member nearby. However, Slug Denchi's going to retreat for a little bit, perhaps has a plan in mind. What's going to happen next? The orange team realized he is somewhere near them. And Slug Denchi, I mean, you got to love just love the routine of Slug Denchi, though. I mean, a very, very interesting play that we just saw there. Understood that the orange team members were nearby, and instead of going for the kill, he decided to perhaps maybe play mind games, but it didn't work out as Arsenal this time around with a shot to the skull. The carcass collapsed. Take a look at the replay. Arsenal with that shot clear as day, right through the neck it seemed like, or the sternum, but nevertheless, as we enter in round 4, I mean, I'll tell you, the orange team now could be fighting back as we're looking at a 2-on-1 when it comes to the points. Blue team still winning, of course, but maybe this is going to be the turning point of the matchup, is allowing the orange team to actually gain some momentum now. We are getting set for round 4, and we are witnessing, well, greatness unfold before our very eyes. And you can actually feel that the momentum is shifting. Can feel that the orange team perhaps maybe is actually trying to gain some momentum here. Could this be the moment that the tide turns? Will it be Arsenal and QL for them to actually gain control of this matchup, or at the very least, try to tie it up? And here we go. Matchup yet again is underway. Round 4 is started. These two teams now, of course, placed inside for the blue team, whereas the orange team, on the other hand, they're going to try to raid in, but over the next 27 seconds and counting, these guys are going to be using the drones, as always, to always prepare themselves to try to see what the blue team members are up to. These guys are Rainbow Six Siege players. Obviously, they know exactly what they're doing in there. You got to believe that these guys play Rainbow Six Siege a lot of times, and I can tell you they're using their craft and abilities and skills, the best of their abilities here tonight in the bright lights of EON Network. Gaming community that is live every single weekend, of course, broadcasting all the game nights for titles up for grabs. Here we go. Matchup officially has started with action phase. And QL and Arsenal obviously outside, and realize now, what do? Well, obviously knocking down some of the cameras here. That does not allow the blue team to use the cameras to see perhaps maybe from outside. You can already see that this matchup, like I said, is probably going to be very, very good, because not only did we see the orange team actually pick the victory in the previous round, but I'll tell you, you can actually, again, feel that momentum shift in the air, and we're going to find out whether or not that orange team is going to capitalize off the momentum they gained, or if it's going to be maybe the blue team yet again trying to get the number of the orange team. You can see how Slug Denchi and incredible, these guys really, I'm speaking about incredible, I mean, it really is an incredible chemistry between these two guys, and we've seen Slug Denchi before, and Arsenal perhaps maybe has a plan up his sleeve, trying to bait the blue team near his way, and now Arsenal's going to be waiting. The blue team members understand that. Slug Denchi from behind. QL just got eliminated. Incredible got eliminated too. It's coming out of this. Slug Denchi, part of the blue team. Arsenal, of course, down. Oh my goodness, here comes Slug Denchi. And what does he need to do? He needs to just simply disable the diffuser. And that was smart planning from the orange team. There you see some of the booby traps that were actually placed. So was it barbed wires or whatever the case? But nonetheless, it was actually very smart. But it was not enough to put a stop on the blue team, to put a hamper on the blue team. The blue team came out on top. As we enter into round 5, I'll tell you, the blue team seems to be owning it here tonight. And again, they're championship hungry. We've seen Slug Denchi before. In fact, if you recall, a couple of months back on the Rainbow Six Siege, Mike Myers, or the Sledge Myers, it was Slug Denchi who got the chance to play as that character. Slug Denchi tonight with a huge, huge vested interest in becoming the champion along with his partner. Incredible. I mean, what a display of heart. Both competitors of the blue team really digging deep. Arsenal and QL, on the other hand, my hat's off to them, and can tell that they really are skilled, but really is a tough task ahead of them now against the blue team. These guys really know what they're doing. When I'm mentioning more so the blue team, they actually know exactly what they're doing there. Slug Denchi and Incredible really have been prepared for this. Of course, Night of Champions has been announced over the past couple of weeks. You got to believe for Slug Denchi and Incredible, they were looking forward to this and making sure that they were going to prepare and train. As the orange team now, of course, wasting a little time, making sure that they're going to be using all the resources that they can gather and try to perhaps prepare for the battle that will be taking place in just less than 10 seconds. More teams are going to be standing by the way. Will these will these teams that are standing by be the ones to become the champions, or are we already looking at the champions prematurely here tonight in this match? Will it be Slug Denchi and Incredible? Could it somehow be actually QL and Arsenal, despite the fact that Arsenal and QL are losing right now? Yes, 1-2-3, but it's still any team's game. We've seen that many times in the past where a losing team begins to fight back, and shockingly, they actually win the entire game. So you wouldn't want to count out the orange team just yet. Slug Denchi now raiding inside. Again, his arms clenched, has his gun now ready to go, ready to fire. What's going to happen over the next few seconds? We're only going to find out. There you see Slug Denchi, of course, turning around and making it to the right side, and now begins to aim forward. Doesn't really see anybody just yet. Goes up the stairs and doesn't see any of the orange members at all. No orange members yet. But I emphasize the word yet because it's only just a matter of time before the orange members are going to be seen by the blue team, and vice versa. I spectate QL. In fact, QL and Arsenal, this is the first time that we're actually witnessing these two play. In fact, this will be the first time that these two are competing in a duos environment. Arsenal and QL, imagine their first night win of the team championships. That would be a huge feather in their cap. You can hear some gunshots in the distance. QL, of course, did take some damage moments ago. Not going to bode well for QL. as Arsenal is shooting along with QL. Perhaps maybe there's some sort of action here, and yes, the blue members are indeed nearby, and the orange team members understand that. They do not want to mess it up, however. They do not want to do it. Look at this, and QL understood he was not going to mess it up, and he successfully was able to knock now. Look, Slug Denchi is out, and here comes now Incredible. Can Incredible actually make a miraculous comeback, though? Incredible, perhaps maybe just understanding that he really needs to dig down deep inside because he only has a minute left now. Slug Denchi, his partner, is eliminated, and he's got to face 2 orange members, but Arsenal put a stop to it as Incredible knocked down. You can see the replay. Incredible was going up the stairs, and boom, right into it. What an incredible game. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we enter in round 6, and now it's 3 points for the blue team and 2 points for the orange team. And I'll tell you one thing, perhaps maybe the orange team, though, maybe this is their time. As I said it before, and I'll say it again, usually we see losing teams out of nowhere actually come back, and they're able to win it. And that could be the same story for Arsenal and QL. These guys were losing, and now it looks like they're actually making a comeback, slowly but surely beginning to actually rise. And will this be the turning point for the orange team? We enter in round 6. This is a championship round, longer rounds than normal. Slug Denchi and Incredible perhaps communicating amongst themselves in the party. Perhaps maybe realizing what mistakes they made in the previous game and trying to correct that wrong here in this game and try to understand what they should not do in this one. For QL and Arsenal, speaking about communication, these two are also in their own separate parties, and perhaps they're communicating wisely on what they need to do again in this round to actually make it into a tie. Incredible is looking to go upstairs along with Slug Denchi. Now these two are just preparing for themselves, and you got to love the chemistry for Slug Denchi and Incredible, as I stated before. I mean, I think these guys are doing wonderful in there, as well as QL and Arsenal. But tonight, again, there can only be one team heading into the victory here. Only one team is going to become champion, and we'll find out at the conclusion of the broadcast. 2 minutes and 45 seconds and counting. You know, this possibly could be the penultimate round. Say, for instance, if the blue team actually gets the victory in this round and gets their 4th point. Of course, they need just 1 more point to officially win the entirety of the first round of this tournament. Gauntlet style here for titles up for grabs. Team Championships, a part of Night of Champions, EON Network's own premium live event. And once again, silence reigns supreme. And just listen, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I guess I spoke too soon, as Incredible just put away QL. QL has been officially eradicated, and Incredible just went in there, wasting little time. And now already, look at the beast go. Slug Denchi with a shot to Arsenal. My goodness gracious, the blue team came back into it, and they came in with a vengeance, just going after it, brutalizing the orange team, getting their own revenge after the loss they suffered in the previous round. As we enter into round 7, and remember what I said here. Actually, there's going to be more rounds, excuse me, but nonetheless, round 7 obviously could also be the round for the blue team to officially make it into, well, the match point next round. Incredible and Slug Denchi, though, you got to love their pace. They have been making an incredible pace throughout the matchup. They have been dictated the pace, and that's exactly the type of pace and gameplay they want to maintain throughout the entirety of the game because it has been working. But QL and Arsenal are not going to give up just yet. These guys are still in there, and they're still fighting back here, and they're not going to give up until the very end. And that's what it's all about when it comes to heart and dedication, the passion of these two guys. QL and Arsenal, of course, this is their first showing in EON Network, but you got to be proud of the fact that these guys are really putting a fight here. They know exactly what they're doing. Trying to do what they can to make sure they're going to win the titles here on their first night. Just imagine that. Just imagine on their first night, however, for QL and Arsenal to win the championships and to strut around with the titles. So here we go, 4 seconds left until action phase. And indeed, it has begun. Here we go, matchup is underway. Blue team wasting a little time. They're, of course, now raiding, or at least going as fast as possible to raid in. Of course, some of the people on Twitch, from what I understand, are indeed supporting Slug Denchi. Might be the odds-on favorite to win this matchup tonight. Of course, out of everyone here, Slug Denchi does have the most experience when it comes to EON Network, that is. perhaps might have the most experience when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege in general as well, as the man is just surveying the environment, trying to figure out where are the orange members. And for the orange members, perhaps butterflies begin to the build inside. They know that the blue team, they mean business. The orange team understand that the blue team, though, they're really hard to defeat. But it's not anything that they can, of course, can't do. They can indeed do it. We've seen it twice for the orange team. They defeated the blue team not once but twice. They can do it again. And QL now trying to shoot something in the distance. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he was trying to create a separation there, hence the reason why he was shooting at the wall. Mind games perhaps playing here. Incredible and Slug Denchi now. These two, of course, as I said before, they have that one goal in mind to make it into 5 points. There we see the battle ensuing in the distance. I think it's Arsenal who perhaps maybe was trying to knock down the drone of one of the blue members here. As he actually threw the C4. There's the drone again. And the drone seems to be playing around with Arsenal. The C4 planted and exploded, couldn't really affect anybody just yet. Again, in the distance, there is the drone, but Arsenal he cannot seem to get this drone here. Interesting, Slug Denchi just going back to the drone, and again, a little part of me says that he's just playing around. He's kind of toying with his food, so to speak, using the drone and messing around with the orange team, going in circles, jumping around, again, trying to have that mind games, the proverbial mind games per se. Rainbow Six Siege could really have a huge factor when it comes to mind games and the psychological factor. And now the blue team, perhaps maybe they could just be seconds away from officially putting this one over. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at 36 seconds here. Who's going to actually win it between the two? Here we go, matchup is underway. And now this matchup, perhaps it's breaking down. A couple of shots already. Slug Denchi got eliminated. Incredible this time around, eliminating Arsenal. We're back down to 1-on-1. Incredible and QL, the last two standing for the respective teams. Who's going to win it here for this round? My goodness gracious, there's a lot of action beginning to build. And now, planted the diffuser was incredible, although perhaps maybe not. For only just a moment, he was planted the diffuser. Couple of shots against QL. QL is out. Incredible wins it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're entering into round 5. I should say round 8, but 5 points officially for the blue team as you take a look at the replay. Look at this, what a brutal shot. And I believe that was a teabag. If I was not mistaken, that was a teabag. We're entering into match point. And you got to believe the blue team, perhaps very, very confident that they're heading into this game winning this matchup, because I'll tell you, 5 points as opposed to the orange team with 2 points. But you saw that teabag moments ago, and personally for me, I believe it's all about respecting your opponents and trying to show sportsmanship. And many would argue that teabagging your opponent is not that. But Incredible and Slug Denchi still do not care. I mean, they're winning the game right now. So, I mean, Incredible and Slug Denchi might be looking at finally their official final round. For Arsenal and QL, it's time for them to really gear up. It is time to really put themselves into a different zone, a different dimension, because, again, there's only one shot left. If they do not win this game, the blue team officially does win it all. They will continue in the Gauntlet tournament, and they're going to continue within the next team standing by. I'm kind of nervous about this one, actually. This great matchup that has taken place tonight, but a bit of nerves begin to build for me. Imagine the nerves that are building for the orange team. I mean, these guys probably have a lot of nerves building inside. What's interesting about this is that all these 4 guys are friends. Before the game night, they were having a good talk, really having a conversation. Probably didn't expect to go against each other this time, but when it comes to championships, there can only be one team champion. So, of course, when it comes to this, they have to be split. Matchup underway. QL now decides to be inside, or at least behind the barricade. And I'll tell you, I mean, if Incredible and Slug Denchi, if they're able to whip up a plan that is able to make them officially the winners in this round, then they're done for. QL and Arsenal are done for, to be more specific. But you got to like the strategy of QL. Remember, we saw this in the previous game. I think it was a couple of rounds ago. It could have been the first or second round, but nonetheless, in one of the rounds, QL was he was using the barricade. And then he walked up to the opponent. He was able to knife him down. So if QL was successful at that, perhaps maybe do it again this time around. Maybe that's exactly what QL is thinking. I was successful before. Perhaps maybe I should do it again. But this is not going to look good for Kiel because moments ago we saw Arsenal just got eliminated. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end for the orange team. The blue team, they advance here. Take a look at the replay. What an incredible show of display. As we take a look at the MVP, it is none other than Slug Denchi. But incredible and Slug Denchi really basking into the glory of this victory that they had. One step closer to becoming the team champions. Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible game. But man, I cannot believe it. We're looking at perhaps maybe the future champions. Slug Denchi and incredible, one step away, could be title holders. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to EON Network. We saw Slug Denchi and incredible one step closer to a championship victory. They need one more step. But who is in front of these two from approaching the final step? Well, it's none other than Ekit Mateo and, well, Who My Son, a.k.a. Ankle Destroyer. And we know for a fact that Ankle Destroyer has been a huge, huge asset when it comes to EON, along with Mateo. And for Incredible and Slug Denchi, these guys understand perhaps maybe the fight that they're getting into. This is going to be a good one. If you're watching live on Twitch, everybody sit back and enjoy this. This will be perhaps one of the greatest matches you'll ever see on Rainbow Six Siege. Two teams that, in my mind, are championship worthy. This is a main event caliber match. And it's indeed the main event of Night of Champions. Who's going to become the team champions, folks? But we're going to find out eventually. After the game is over with. What an incredible game we saw moments ago between these two teams of Slug Denchi and Incredible versus QL and Arsenal. I thought they did a really wonderful job. In fact, my hat's off to them. I think they did wonderful, but now they're in the game with Mateo and Who My Son, a.k.a. Ankle Destroyer. Now this matchup has officially started with action phase. There is so much suspense, high drama. I mean, one little move could change the entire trajectory of this match. That's what Rainbow Six Siege really is. You know, championships are so prestigious in EON Network. In fact, many Hall of Famers in the past have been past champions, so obviously becoming a champion would really, really mark your place here. Really put you in the next stratosphere. I mean, this is the ultimate proving ground. To try to prove to themselves they're championship worthy. And actually hear the gunshots in the distance. And Incredible trying to perhaps maybe he is going to do it at the early part of this matchup. Wait a minute, though. Perhaps his plan was going to go against his... I think Incredible was going to perhaps have a little bit of a trouble. But you can see Mateo now getting shot. And oh my goodness, Incredible once again trying to plant the diffuser, but it didn't work as Mateo just knocked down Incredible. And Slug Denchi, the only one left here. Slug Denchi now beginning to fight back. 2-on-1 situation here. Blue team, of course, disadvantage. The disadvantage for the blue team. Orange team wasting a little time. Who's going to get the advantage? Or I should say, who's going to get the victory here? Oh my God! Who My Son just got knocked down. Who My Son just... You know, Mateo this time around does have the lesser of the health, but Slug Denchi up and over the top and now begins the hunt. And Mateo, of course, is going to be standing by. I'll tell you, Slug Denchi is more of the aggressor here in this match. He is just going all over. Wants to make sure he finds the opponent. Does not want to mess it up. And the suspense again building. And I said it before and I'll say it again. This is the part where the members, the competitors, are feeling the expense. I should say the suspense now. But perhaps maybe Slug Denchi is going to get the victory at the expense of Mateo. My God, I'll tell you, this is a really good matchup, folks. Look at this. 30 points for Slug Denchi, and he got Mateo from below. What a way. What a creative victory there. So Mateo was up there walking through, and it looks like Slug Denchi understood that, was able to knock the man down from below. As we enter into round 2 here, Slug Denchi, an incredible win to the first round of this matchup, reminiscent to what we saw in the first game, but it's not over just yet. For Who My Son and Mateo, they clearly understand what they're in for. And for Incredible and Slug Denchi, perhaps maybe they understand also that perhaps maybe this team is going to be a little bit more tough, or rather tougher than the first game. Now wait to see who's really going to be the champion. This will be the championships, of course. Tomorrow night live on EON Network. It will be titles up for grabs when it comes to the championships on Fortnite and Rocket League. And Rocket League has been a staple of EON Network for many years. Fortnite as well, but Rainbow Six Siege, one of the best, and Because tonight we're going to find out. Somebody actually dropped the popcorn emoji in the Twitch chat, and I can agree with that. You're watching in a great matchup here. Slug Denchi and Incredible versus Who My Son, a.k.a. Anko Destroyer, a.k.a. LLP, and E-Kit Mateo in this matchup. Can you imagine? This type of matchup really, like I said, is main event caliber, and we're watching it tonight. Type of style that you won't want to miss. EON Network, of course, being able to provide you this type of action week in and week out. Of course, if you haven't gotten the chance to, you should go to youtube.com, type in EON Network. Should be the first channel that you see. You can always join the Discord if you would like to join our events. Look at this early going to this matchup now. These two meeting up. It's Slug Denchi with a little time. Who My Son just got knocked down. Slug Denchi with a... Slug Denchi and Incredible. These two guys at the early going to this matchup obviously got the first kill. That was Slug Denchi who knocked down Who My Son, who walked right into that one. Would it be easy pickings perhaps for the blue team, understanding it's 2-on-1, or will Mateo somehow, some way defy the odds? Of course, Mateo does have a lot of experience. I don't think anyone's going to be counting on this Incredible player who's now looking to make sure he's going to get the victory. And he just knocked out Denchi, but Incredible though took advantage, and he knocked out Mateo. So we take a look at the sequence. An incredible sequence there. Mateo knocking down Denchi, but instead in turn, it was Incredible who knocked down Mateo as we enter round 3. That was close. 2 points for the blue team here, but it's not over just yet. Something tells me that it's going to be a huge game over the next couple of rounds, that's for sure. And I said it in the first game, and I'll say it in the second one. Perhaps maybe the losses that Who My Son and Mateo, of course, suffered in the last couple of rounds, perhaps maybe this is going to finally wake them up a little bit. That fire that is lit underneath them. Entering into round 3, here we go. Who will have the upper hand? Something must give here tonight. Whether if it's going to be Slug Denchi and Incredible, or Mateo and Anko Destroyer, a.k.a. Who My Son. Of course, Who My Son has had a legacy in EON Network. He joined, made it into the ranks of EON Network this past year, 2023. Of course, was a leader of the Renegades, the very revolutionary group at the time. Mateo's been here for a couple of years, looking to make sure he's going to become a champion yet again. As Incredible and Slug Denchi, they're still relatively new members, but they want to try to create their legacy now, and they believe their time is now, and what a great way to do it in a night like this. And action phase has started. You can feel the intensity in the air. In fact, there is so much intensity that you can literally just snap it. I mean, I'll tell you, the intensity in the air really shows what is really at stake here tonight, folks. The fact that there is so much on the line, the fact that there's a lot of weight on these teams. Only one can rise, however. Now, this is more than just a match, though. It's really battling for being involved in the annals of history here for EON Network. Silence, again, defying, or rather defining right now what is happening in this game. But E-Kit Mateo breaks the silence, and Denchi just collapsed. Mateo and Who My Son really have the advantage in this matchup. They gain control. Incredible, the only one left now, part of the blue team. What is Incredible going to do? We're going to find out, though. Incredible, though, understands he is alone, yes, but it's not going to deter him, that's for sure. He will make sure he's going to do everything under his own power to make sure he's going to win the matchup. He just shot Who My Son. Who My Son almost got eliminated here. Incredible turning around, understanding there's no one just yet. Oh my goodness, wait a minute, a couple of shots from behind. Who My Son got eliminated. Officially there by the knife. And now Incredible and E-Kit Mateo, the last two in their respective teams. Will it be 3 consecutive victories for the blue team? Look at this, these two meeting up. In this time around, Mateo got his revenge. Avenging his fallen partner, as you can see the replay now taking place. What a shot, what a match, what an incredible game. Round 4 officially starting now. But with the orange team now once again having the point now, it begins to ask, you gotta ask yourselves, will this be something the orange team will be, is this gonna be something they're gonna be holding on to? The wave of momentum that they're able to garner in the last matchup, we saw them dominating here against the blue team. Slug Denchi and Incredible now losing the game in the previous round, but perhaps maybe they just don't want to underestimate the orange team, but not so much pressure just yet for the blue team, although if the orange team is able to tie it up against the blue team, there will be a lot of pressure now. Actually, I would like to retract my statement. There's a lot of pressure beginning the build right now, actually. 34 seconds officially for preparation phase, and like I said, this matchup, you know, preparation phase is actually as important, I'd say, as the action phase. I mean, preparation phase, despite the fact that it's only a very little amount of seconds, it's really crucial seconds. It's really important seconds that allow their respective teammates to really prepare themselves for the upcoming battle, for the unpredictable upcoming battle. Of course, for Incredible and Slug Denchi, they understood exactly what just took place moments ago, and I said it before and I'll say it again, how they do not want to make the same mistake in the previous round. Slug Denchi, though, knocking out Mateo. Slug Denchi, I believe he was waiting, standing by. He understood exactly where Mateo was at. Here comes Who My Son with the barricade. Now it's a 2-on-1 assault. It's a 2-on-1 mugging. Mateo had Who My Son had absolutely no chance in this. A 2-on-1 mugging, and you can see the replay. And it all started because Slug Denchi was able to see where Mateo was at the beginning of the matchup, and Slug Denchi took that and he took advantage, and he knocked down Mateo, which allowed a 2-on-1 mugging for Who My Son, which again allowed for the blue team to get the victory here. 3 points officially. 3 points for the blue team. Can you imagine if Incredible and Slug Denchi actually end up becoming the team champions at the end of the day? I mean, that would actually, I mean, just imagine the type of personality these guys are going to be garnering. The type of image that they will have.
Attackers need to locate.
Here we go. Matchup is underway. Round 5. I'm getting set for this one, guys. Rainbow Six Siege Championship night. Really on the edge of my seat right now. I mean, seriously, the blue team has been very impressive. I've been highly impressive with the blue team tonight. Slug Denchi and Incredible have been very much incredible. And that's not to discredit the other teams here, as you can see this matchup officially now continuing on with 15 seconds. What I was fixing to say was that not trying to discredit the other teams. I think the other teams are wonderful. Mateo and Who My Son, and of course Arsenal QL. But the thing is, Slug Denchi and Incredible, from what I've seen, from my point of view, in my perception, these guys seem to be in a different zone, a much different zone. And I think it's because they really have been salivating for this championship opportunity that could actually come a few and far between. And right now for Slug and Incredible, they understand that, and they do not want to let this chance or opportunity slip by. Here we go, 2 minutes, 44 seconds. Mateo just got knocked down, and Incredible this time with a shot. Who My Son again, a victim of a 2-on-1 assault. Who My Son, a victim of 2-on-1, and I think that was very smart. Oh my goodness, from behind, and Incredible just knifed the man down. And Incredible, take a look at this. He got Who My Son and decided to send a message, a clear-cut message, delivering shots after the deceased body. And again, many would find that perhaps disrespectful, but the blue team is back. I mean, they're in control of this match. Thing is, they are at 4 points. The orange team standing at 1. Of course, the orange team, a wonderful amount of players, in my opinion. They have enough skills and know exactly what they're doing in there, but perhaps they're a bit astonished with Incredible and Slug Denchi's style of game. Or style of gameplay, rather. We're entering in round 6. This could be the penultimate match. We'll find out underway. Here we go. 4 points for the blue team. If they get one more officially, folks. Match round is next.
Bomb located by attackers.
Orange team have a lot of pressure beginning the build inside. And these two guys understand it is now time to fight back. And it's time to gear up more than ever before. The orange team members understand this. My goodness, I mean, you can only imagine what the orange team members are facing right now. I mean, a lot of suspense was building throughout the game, and I would only imagine perhaps maybe some frustration also building inside with the tactics of the blue team, but You can see this action phase has started here. 2 minutes and 52 seconds and counting. And now we're about to see what's going to unfold in this highly competitive matchup for the titles on the line. We want to thank all of you for taking the time to join us here tonight for EON Network presenting the Rainbow Six Siege Night of Champions edition for the team titles. Up for grabs, of course, titles are up for grabs. Like Denchi does knock down Who Am I Son? My goodness gracious, again, this could be the turning point of the matchup. This matchup breaking down here. Couple of shots back and forth. Mateo just knocked down Like Denchi, and he just knocked down Incredible too. My goodness gracious, what an incredible comeback. You can see Mateo knocking down not one but two of the members. This could be the opening for the orange team, perhaps. Round 7. 2 points for the orange team. This could be the opening they need. And if Mateo and Who My Son are able to actually rise back up, this would be perhaps maybe the most incredible comeback in EON Network history. But it's a long way to go, but they could do it. And perhaps maybe it will happen. I'm actually quite shocked at what transpired moments ago, but wow, that was an incredible game. Round 7. Here we go, starting now. Folks, this is it. I mean, I'll tell you, it's either the blue team going to take it into a match point, or it's going to be the orange team once again taking it to the blue team, and who knows what's going to happen. Remember, 30 seconds officially for the preparation phase. This is a crucial amount of seconds for both of these teams to really just plan out what they need to do. Despite the fact that it's only just a few seconds, perhaps maybe the seconds given really could be a huge world of difference. And speaking about world, the blue team, after the loss they actually had last round, they are perhaps in a world of trouble if the orange team begins to fight back more than ever now. Here we go. Action phase has officially started, folks. And now Mateo and Who My Son are more focused than ever before. Slug Denchi and Incredible understand, though, they are not in a it's not going to be a cakewalk, that's for sure. It's not going to be a walk in the park. Slug Denchi now fighting, at least shooting down one of the barricades in the distance here, but to no avail just yet. No opponent seen just at this moment in time, and you can see the members now using the cameras around, trying to locate exactly where the rest of the members are. Slug Denchi and Incredible, though, these guys would love to become that team champions tonight. They were talking about it before the game night. They said that they really felt good about this. They actually did say, quote, "We are ready to go, and we're hoping to become champions at the end of this night." Incredible now, of course, behind that barricade. Oh my goodness, now I think that's Who My Son it is. Who My Son now face to face with Incredible, I believe. And Incredible was using that barricade into no avail. And look at Slug Denchi this time around, though, as Who My Son was trying to stay away from Incredible. Slug Denchi saw Who My Son, and he knocked down Mateo. The blue team officially winning this game as you take a look at the closing sequence. This is indeed, folks, match point. Which we all know what that means. That is, if the blue team, of course, wins, they are your new team champions for Rainbow Six Siege in the EON Network community. In a division in which a lot of people were looking to become dominant in. Mateo and Who My Son, though, still going to make sure they're going to fight back, and you got to respect the resilience, the perverse resilience they have inside. They are not going to give up until the very end. And for Incredible and Slug Denchi, perhaps maybe they might think it's going to be an easy cakewalk, but I would like to say that they do not want to be complacent, that's for sure, in a game like this, especially with championships on the line, a prestigious title that can really catapult you to the next level on EON Network and can really, really gain a lot of respect and credibility. These guys really wanted to make sure they can be the best of the best. Raising the bar, you got to be the best in a game like this. Highly competitive, full of members with so much passion and competition. Incredible and Slug Denchi wasting a little time making sure that they're going to try to redecorate the insides here, making some, plans, I guess, in mind. Well, there's only 3 seconds left. And now the action phase has started, folks. Either this will be the round that officially ends it, or this is going to be the round in which the orange team is going to slowly rise back up. Again, I'm on the edge of my seat, folks. I cannot believe what's going to happen. I mean, with championships on the line, you know it for a fact that this really means a lot for all these guys. I mean, it really does. Not only are they having so much fun. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh, my son just got eliminated courtesy of Slug Denchi. And Slug Denchi just got Mateo. It's over. It's over. The blue team, Denchi, an incredible actually win the team champions. They are your new team champions, sliding into victory, becoming the team champions tonight. Slug Denchi being the MVP. Incredible, of course, basket of glory as well. Tonight, Rainbow Six Siege team titles were crowned. Congratulations to Mr. Denchi, an incredible Slug Denchi, an incredible pinpointing a great victory and now making their own names marked down officially as the team champions. Slug Denchi, an incredible, really making a huge victory and marking down a message that they're walking out of here as the new title holders for Rainbow Six Siege as the team champions. What a match. What a great match, everybody. For all those watching on Twitch and for all those who are going to be watching on YouTube, I'll tell you, you probably can share the sentiment here. What an incredible night. Championships galore, and looks like at the end of the night, it was Slug Denchi and Incredible who were able to, well, make it on top. And you got to pay respects to Mateo and my son, who gave it their all in there, and they have nothing to be ashamed of. But again, it was Incredible and Slug Denchi who indeed became victorious, reigning supreme here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for EON Network here tonight. We want to thank you all for taking the time to join us. EON Network is wanting to remind all of you, though, that tomorrow night, if you're watching live on Twitch, that it's going to be broadcasting live the Fortnite Championships. In fact, it's going to be the Free-For-All Championship broadcasted on Fortnite. And then tomorrow also, Rocket League will appear. And we understand that's going to be for duos. Rocket League Championships for duos and Fortnite Championships for, well, free-for-all solos. Who's going to become the champions for those? Thanks for joining us, everybody. Good night, everyone. We'll catch you on the next broadcast.